welcome to Why Insects Matter. Insects can bug us, yet they remain life's greatest secret weapon. Arthropods, which are simply insects, actually carry out a multitude of different responsibilities. However, we probably don't really realize what all those responsibilities are that are occurring every single day around us. If insects were to cease their existence, believe it or not, so would we, and so would the rest of the world. Today, I will be providing just 3 key pieces as to why insects matter. However, there's a multitude of reasons as to why, but today we'll be going specifically over pollination, insect population control, and life without insects. First, let's examine pollination and what that really means. Pollination is simply the fertilization of plant seeds. So if you have a garden and you are growing tomatoes in that garden, and then you have tomatoes, you wouldn't have those tomatoes without the help of something pollinating it. So believe it or not, insects are the reason we have fruits, vegetables, and flowers. According to Ann Fagerson, in a book entitled Buzz Sting Bite, food productions in regards to both quality and quantity are only possible through the workings of insects. Insect pollination is actually a top contributor to our food variety. Honey is another classic example. We all love it, bears love it too. Honey is simply a byproduct of pollination from honeybees. Berry quality is also improved through pollination over other natural pollination sources such as self-pollination to pollination through wind on a windy day or water such as streams. Next, I will tell you insect impact through consumption, to eat or be eaten. As stated in Buzz Sting Bite, the United Nations estimates that 1/4 of the population actually consumes insects. Insects are a part of the human diet, whether we know it or not, or like it or not. Believe it or not, if you've ever had imitation crab meat, even though the crab meat itself might be largely byproducts of fish, the red dye that you see is actually from a tiny little red bug called a cochineal bug. They also show up in other red dye foods. Insects are also protein packed, and they are low in fat, and they're simply a healthy food source. Again, they are mixed into foods that we already are consuming. Essentials Entomology book informs many insect species participate in self-population control. Insects prey on bug species, so that already helps keep the population down, since it's their main natural food source is sometimes each other. But they also will sometimes prey on their own species. A classic example we may know about is the female praying mantis. She actually does this in order to give herself extra nutrients for the upcoming babies that she's about to have. However, she does consume her mate. Finally, population decline. Without insects, we are nothing. Whether we like that or not, it is true. According to Current Biology, in an article entitled Insect Apocalypse and Why It Matters, insects as a whole are the most important thing for a healthy ecosystem. Insect populations are decreasing, and we've actually just now begun to start paying attention to it, which is a bit of a problem. In an article entitled Insects and Recent Climate Change by Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, insect declines have resulted heavily from, well, human impact. One of those examples would be agriculture, another example would be climate change, and another example would be development. Take a plot of land, for example. You take that land, you break it down, and you turn it into a subdivision. That subdivision now lies in an area where insects not only could have had pollination opportunities, but it's habitat loss as well. An example is actually lightning bugs, specifically here in Florida. I'm not sure when the last time that you guys have noticed a lightning bug here, but it's probably a lot less now than it was before. Believe it or not, lightning bugs can only do their lighting pattern, which is, if you will, like a mating ritual, and they need complete darkness or natural light, like the moon, in order to do this. When there's artificial light, or even artificial light from the car's headlights, these lightning bugs simply cannot continue to do this. So their populations do decline. That's just one small example. To conclude, insects do matter. They matter for our lives, and they matter for the ecosystem in order to not only thrive, but simply survive. As stated in Insect Apocalypse and Why It Matters, insects are imperative to the food web, pollination, population control, and simply a healthy world. Just because we can't understand something does not mean that we should not appreciate it, or it still might have